Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Back today with our next episode of the Transfer League. This is episode 4 and we're taking charge of Burnley. If you've missed the first 3 episodes with Arsenal, Aston Villa and Brighton, please go and check them out. But this time we're taking over Burnley, and this is the series where we sell all of our players, and whichever team a player sells to, we have to sign a player from to replace them. So far the 3 teams we've done pretty well with. I'm not gonna lie, a little bit of a spoiler. We've done pretty well with all 3. So it's time to see how well we can do with Burnley. So Burnley is a team that I feel might be quite difficult in this series. We've got 26 million to start with, which obviously is fantastic. However, we do not have a player over 80 rated other than Nick Pope, and goalkeepers tend not to go for too much money. So there's not necessarily going to be that many big teams coming in for my players, which means I'm not going to be able to sign that many good players, but we shall see what sort of teams come in and what sort of players we can get as we are heading into the first set of transfers now. Okay, so this is how you score points. Your league position is your start number. You get a certain number of points, -3 for winning a cup, -2 for getting to a cup final, -1 for getting to a cup semi-final. And then if you win the European Cup, you get -5. If you get to the final, you get -2. If you have a player in your team become top league goal scorer, you get -5. And then for every player in your team that you get above 15 goals, above 15 assists, or your goalkeeper gets above 15 clean sheets, you get an extra -1. And this is golf rules, so you're trying to get the lowest number possible. I don't know what I was worried about, to be honest, because we've still got some quite relatively big teams coming in for not so relatively big players. Like, for example here, Dale Stephens going to Villarreal. We've got Jay Rodriguez going to Monaco, and we've got Charlie Taylor going to Dortmund. So 3 nice big teams there to get some players in from. Let's see what sort of players we can get. Okay, so we've got our first signings in. From Dortmund we went for Lucas Piszczek. Very, very old, 35 years of age, good rating at 79, and only cost me £3 million. So very, very cheap for that player, but obviously will be declining in the second half of the season. Then we signed Alberto Moreno, ex-Liverpool left-back from Villarreal, 77 rated. I think it cost me about 9 million. That's probably a little bit too much for this guy, but I didn't know at the time, and I'm happy with 9 million for him. And then another ex-Premier League player. This time he was at Everton, and it's Djibril Sidibe, 77 rated right-back. So we've got 3 defenders coming in, and 3 that I definitely think could do me a good job. He cost me about 7 million, so it's probably about right. Let's see who's next to leave the club. Okay, we've got 2 more players leaving the club, and one's a massive one. Ashley Barnes is leaving to go to SC Freiburg. Freiburg, not the sort of team where I know too many players, so I'm hoping I can find a little hidden gem in there that's going to be good for my team. And then we've got Kevin Long on his way to Cadiz. I think they're a Spanish team. I've probably absolutely butchered their name, but Kevin Long's gone there, so I'm going to have to sign myself a replacement from Cadiz. Okay, so we've got our 2 players in. We've got from Cadiz, the only player from their team I actually recognised, and it's not too bad as well, Alvaro Negredo. Is he ex-Manchester City, this one? I think he is. Negredo, I'm sure he was Man City. 34 years of age now, a bit like Piszczek, will be declining towards the end of the season. Hopefully I can get a bit out of him for now. It only cost me 3 million, exactly the same as Piszczek. And then we signed Kevin Schlotterbeck as a backup defender from Freiburg for 1.5 million. So very cheap player, saving some money for if any big clubs come in, so I can get a big name player perhaps. So 3 more players have sold. Got Matthew Lowton going to Celta Vigo, RC Celta in Spain. We've got Mateo Vidra going to Fenerbahce out in Turkey, and we've got our big player James Tarkowski going to Crystal Palace. So our biggest player realistically is going to be going to Crystal Palace, which is not great because the biggest player is the player you want to go to the biggest team. And no disrespect to Crystal Palace, they are not a very big team. but let's see who we can get from them. Okay guys, I've got my 3 players in, and I've spent every single penny of my budget on 3 players. I've got Andros Townsend coming in. I think he cost me just short of 10 million. Same with the next player, Luis Gustavo. They're from Crystal Palace and Fenerbahce respectively. And then from Celta Vigo, we went big. We went for Iago Aspas. Cost me a whopping 32 million. And the wages weren't little either, was 63,000. But I think he could be the man that really helps us in this series, in this episode. See if he can carry Burnley up the table into a decent position. Iago Aspas is back in the Premier League. Okay, so 2 more players leaving the club. We've got Jack Court going to Granada in Spain. We've got Eric Peters going to Rennes in France. So we need 2 players in from them 2 teams. But the problem is I don't have all that much money, just the money that's coming from these 2 players. So gonna have to be 2 cheap players if I can get them. Okay, we've made our 2 signings. Granada, we have signed Danny Ploma. Not a lot of money at all, about 300,000, 400,000 for that guy. And then we signed Clement Grenier from Rennes, probably as a backup centre mid. He did cost me a little bit more than I thought he would. He cost me 4 million, so I think that's probably overpaid for a 73 rated. But oh well. We've still got a little tiny amount of money in the budget for in case somebody else sells. We need a little bit more. So let's see how we do as we're about to head into our first game, I believe. Okay, and into the first game we do go. And it's a first game against Aston Villa, a team that we can realistically beat. And the team's looking pretty solid, and all the new players are in. So let's have a little sim and see how this team does. There's still a few Burnley originals there, like Wood, McNeil, Westwood, me, Pope. But mainly the team has been changed, so let's see how we do. As we quick sim against Aston Villa. And we lose 1-0. That is not what I wanted from that game. I was hoping that would be a victory in the first game. Maybe Burnley's going to be a bit harder than I thought. Okay, I've got 2 more transfers, and to be honest with you, I feel a little bit shafted here. Dwight McNeil, probably the player that in my team that will sell for the most amount of money, has gone to Hoffenheim. Hoffenheim are a team I don't know any players off the top of my head from, and I've got to sign somebody in to replace Dwight McNeil from them. At least it's a lot of money, I suppose. I can save some money elsewhere, but I do need a left mid now because McNeil's gone. So let's see what we can find. And then also we've got Josh Brownhill from Union Berlin, another German team. We've got 2 German teams players coming in a moment. I've decided to sign my 2 players. I've got Fabio Schneider in from Union Berlin, not very much money at all, and then Jakob Brun Larsen just in from Hoffenheim as the replacement for Dwight McNeil. Not as high rated, good potential on him, so hopefully will go up. And I mean, he's still my starting left mid, even at 74 rated, which is a bit disappointing to be honest. But oh well, we're going to the next game, and the next game is probably the hardest game we're going to come up against, as we're going against Liverpool in the second game of the season. Let's see how this team can do. After a defeat to Aston Villa, it doesn't look good for this one, but you never know, miracles do happen. I was going to say sadly not in this game, but 3-3 is kind of a miracle. I'd be quite happy with a 3-3 draw if I was a Burnley fan. So there we go, that's decent. Let's try and take that on into the next game. One more sale here, and it's to a relatively big team. We've got Dortmund signing Johan Berg Gudmundsson for 6.5 million, 4.7 of which we get to add to our budget and hopefully get somebody decent in from Dortmund. Let's have a little look. Before I could get anybody in from Dortmund though, we're going to be going straight into a game against Crystal Palace. Hopefully a game again we can get something out of. We've got Connor Wickham playing at centre mid, Batshuayi at left mid. What is that team? Obviously Tarkovsky in the centre back position there, coming up against his old club. Let's see if we can really beat him for this. And it's not good for us as we lose 2-1, sadly. But oh well, not the end of the world. We're not having a great start, but we can definitely pick it up. in the later half of the season. And as I'm still waiting for my Dortmund player to come in, we've got a cup game against Sheffield United. Let's see if we can progress in this cup and knock out a Premier League side, which seems to happen a lot to me in this series. We come up against a big team in the first round. Let's see how we do. We do beat Sheffield United, but Brun Larsen there getting a goal, which is fabulous. That is just what I want to see. Sheffield United been knocked out by us, and we progress into the next round of the cup. Okay, so as I'm still waiting for my Dortmund player to come into the club, I've got a game against Wolves, which is definitely going to be a tough one, and I'm hoping we can get something out of this. Let's see how we do. We get the win. That's fantastic. Aspas getting the winning goal there for us. Lovely to see. Let's hope he can keep doing that through the season and get us up through the table. So once again, I've missed a sale going out and accidentally deleted the email, but Ashley Westwood has gone to AC Milan. So that's a big team that we need a big player from, hopefully. Once our Dortmund player finally comes in also, I don't think we're going to be left with too much money. So maybe not too big of a player can come in from this team, but we shall see. So finally, our Dortmund player has come in, and it's Thomas Delaney, the CDM, 81 rated, cost me 18 million and took about a week to get the transfer to go through somehow. And then from AC Milan, we've got Matteo Gabbia, who is a youngster who I know has very good potential in this. Cost me about 1.5 million, so 65 rated already, could potentially progress or so far in the season to maybe get to the starting lineup if he progresses that much, but we shall see. Because I know he has a lot of potential and he progresses quite quickly in this game. So there's the two signings we're making, and it is deadline day, so there could be a couple more, or it could be quite a boring part. So with 2 hours left in the deadline, Ben Mee has gone off to Leicester City for 12.8 million, leaving us with almost 10 million in the budget to try and get in a player from Leicester to replace Ben Mee. Let's see who we can get. Okay, so the final transfer for this first window is Johnny Evans coming in from Leicester, the replacement for Ben Mee, who just went there. He's better rated, slightly older, so will start to decrease probably, but I think we can get a couple of seasons out of him, even though this is only one season. I think he'll be very good in my centre-back partnership with Piszczek. Let's see if he can secure that defence and hopefully gets a few wins along the way. With that, the transfer window is about to close. A lot of deals coming in for us, as you see there. But that is it. Deadline date is over. Currently sat 11th in the table. Not too bad. Not too bad. But I'm hoping to be around that by the end of the season. So let's see how we do as we go into our first start of the simming. And let's see. Sim to January transfer window and see how we're doing come January. Okay, so as we come into the last few games before the window opens, I have to say I haven't seen too many wins. But then again, I haven't seen that many losses. I've seen a lot of draws, and I'm hoping the draws are going to be enough to put me in a decent position. Although these games towards the end of this sim are 3 wins in a row. Can we get 4 from Fulham? No, it's a draw there, but 3 wins there against Brighton and West Brom. I think that's going to put us in quite a good little spot. I'm hoping we're about maybe 14th would be a good role for me at this stage, I would hope. But we'll have to see where we are in a moment or two. So, I've got another team here sat higher than I was expecting them to be. They're sat 12th in the table at this stage. And that is really, really good going from Burnley there. 24 points is enough to sit me 12th. That is not good showing for the rest of the Premier League. Bottom of the table has 7 points. This is such a strange league. If I'm 12th with just 5 wins and 9 draws, that is strange. But look at that. Goal difference is 0. We've scored the exact amount that we've conceded. So maybe we need a couple of changes through this window, hopefully. But then again, if we're 12th, I'm quite happy with 12th. Burnley probably would be wanting to be fighting for that top half of the table. But 12th is okay, I think. So let's just progress and see if we get any more sales and signings. If not, this is going to be quite a quick part of the episode. Okay, so this looks like it's going to be a busier transfer window as we have 2 quite big sales already. Got Robbie Brady going to Valencia, and we've got Nick Pope going to Besiktas for 25 million. So we've got quite a bit of money now as well. But we definitely will be needing a goalkeeper now that Pope has gone. So Valencia and Besiktas, let's see what you've got. Okay, so the two players are in. We've gone for the best goalkeeper available from the two teams I had, which was Jasper Cillessen, 81 rated. Not too bad a player, paid about 17 million for him, so a good replacement for Pope there. And I've gone for Domagoj Vida from Besiktas, who's going to basically be a backup centre-back, maybe starting over Piszczek. If Piszczek's dropped off that much, we shall have a look and see. But yeah, two very good signings there, I believe. And now it's the chance for Vida and Cillessen to show us what they've got in a first game against Leeds. Let's see how they do. It's a 2-1 loss, unfortunately, but that's not the end of the world. We can still progress on from this as we head towards the deadline day. We've had another player go out. We've got Chris Wood going to Celta Vigo as a swap deal for Nolito, plus £7.4 million coming in. So that's a pretty good deal. I think Nolito pretty good player. I do probably need a striker now to team with Aspas up front, unless I change the formation around a bit. I might have a look. Let's have a little look. Okay, and deadline day is officially closed for this episode. Let's see where we're sat. Currently we're currently 11th in the table, which is pretty darn good. Again, we've had 4 pretty good episodes. So now guys, before I start simming to the end of the season, let me know whereabouts you think we are going to end up in the table, and let me know who you think is going to be our top goal scorer. Let's start simming. Okay, we're coming into the final game of the episode against Chelsea. The big game to finish the season. Do we get a victory? We managed to win 1-0. And I'll tell you something, this second sim of the episode has gone very, very well for me. There's been a lot of wins. We've gone on a little warpath, getting big win after big win. I hope that means we're going to be pretty high up in the table. Let's have a little look. We're sat 10th. 10th is very, very good. I'm very happy with 10th. Again, probably higher than I thought. They are top half of the table. I'm sure all Burnley fans will be very happy with that. Let's have a little look at the top goal scorer. Did we get top goal scorer? No, we didn't. Raul Jimenez getting the top goal scorer. Now let's have a little look at other competitions. How did we do? Did we get to a semi-final in any competition? I think one of the cups potentially we did. Let's have a look. So the final is Tottenham Hotspur versus Everton. Did we get to the semi-finals? We did get to the semi-finals. That is absolutely fantastic. That means we get a -1 on there. What about the other cup? How did we do in the Carabao? So Man United eventual winners. We didn't get to the semis in that one, so nothing for us there. And then obviously didn't qualify for the Continental Cups, so -1 for the Cups is not bad, puts us on 9 currently. And then it's all about how we do with our players. Let's have a little look at the stats, shall we? So, goals is first. How many people scored over 15 goals? None. None of the players scored over 15. Thomas Delaney and Iago Aspas, both on 13. What about top goal, top assister? It's Aspas. So again, not above 15. And then it's all about clean sheets then. Does he get 15 clean sheets? No. So again, 0 there. So that means that Burnley finish on 9 points for this episode. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. About average, like, for what's been going on so far. Let's have a look at the team that did it for us. I mean, obviously a lot of players going down in overall, being older. But this is the team that did it. It looks very good. Aspas obviously being very good for us. Brun Larsen going up 3 overalls there. That is fantastic. And he obviously has done very well for us. Delaney, probably the surprise of the season, getting all them goals for us. But yeah, that's a pretty good episode for us, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back next time with an episode for a big team for once. We're going for Chelsea next episode. Let's see how that is. Make sure you don't miss it, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.